The grand hall of the galactic Concord pulsed with sound and light. Representatives from 20 alien species spoke in overlapping voices. Some harmonious, others guttural, some echoing like whispers from underwater. Sunlight 3 suns worth of it poured through a crystalline dome above, painting a fractured rainbow across the polished obsidian floor. The central table, a perfect ring of star-forged alloy, was designed for 30 ambassadors. But only 29 seats were filled. The human chair remained empty. Dorian Reeves stepped through the towering archway at the rear of the chamber. He moved with measured pace, 10 minutes late intentionally so. Conversations quieted as dozens of alien eyes turned toward him. Some pairs glared. Some trios blinked with mechanical rhythm. Others swiveled on stalks or floated as orbs above elongated heads. "The human envoy arrives," said High Chancellor Zelvern. His skin, a deep cobalt shimmering under the light, flushed violet with irritation. "Such punctuality. How honored we are." Dorian offered only a slight nod, saying nothing. His chair, smaller than the others and lacking a backrest, awaited him. Humanity had been part of the Concord for 50 standard years, but their status remained that of an adopted child at a table of ruling parents. "Let us proceed," said Zelvern. "A vote on the updated Extractive Rights Treaty. All in favor." Tentacles, wings, claws, spindly arms, 27 limbs rose. Dorian kept his hand down. So did the delegate from Sereth, a planet not unlike Earth in scale but far less politically stable. "The motion is carried," said Zelvern, his smile more a baring of teeth. "Earth and Sereth will comply." Dorian tapped the surface of his console. The treaty's contents glowed on the translucent screen. An agreement that surrendered the majority of Earth's asteroid mining rights to the Clyrex Consortium. Humanity would be charged tariffs for accessing their own asteroid belt. 50% of all yields would be seized by the Concord for redistribution. "Earth would like to speak," said Dorian calmly. Zelvern glanced at the time. 30 seconds. Envoy Reeve. Soft laughter echoed around the table. Dorian stood, tall for a human but still dwarfed by most of the species in the room. He reached up, removed his translator device, and placed it on the table before him. When he spoke, it was in English. "Humanity withdraws from negotiations." Silence. The translator system still echoed his words in over 24 languages. But none of the delegates reacted immediately. Understanding lagged behind comprehension. Dorian turned to leave. "You can't withdraw," barked Chancellor Kethra of the Verith. Her silver mask-like face remained motionless, but her voice sharpened. "The vote is binding." "It doesn't bind us," said Dorian. Then he walked out, his footsteps echoing in the stunned hush. At the Earth Embassy compound, located on the edge of the capital city's fifth ring, Defense Minister Arya Lang awaited him. She stood by the tall windows, arms folded behind her back, watching the alien skyline. "How'd they take it?" she asked without turning. "They don't understand," Dorian replied. "Not yet. No one's ever walked away from the Concord," Arya said, "which is why they never planned for it." Dorian replied. His console buzzed. Messages flooded in, some frantic, others threatening, all demanding an explanation. He ignored them. "Let them stew," said Arya. "For 50 years we've been quiet while they bled us. Now we speak with actions, not words. Are we ready? We've been ready for years." "Then send the signal." Dorian placed his palm against the biometric reader. A pulse of green light confirmed transmission. The message was brief: "Table abandoned. Beacon is lit." All around the embassy, staff moved with coordinated urgency. Sensitive documents were packed into secure cases. Data was purged. Walls that had once echoed with diplomatic language were now filled with silence. Outside, crowds began to gather: reporters, Concord officials, curious citizens. No answers would be given. Back on Earth, deep beneath the Rockies, the command nexus came alive. Screens flickered with data from across the solar system. One large display showed the Concord capital. Another the dark side of the moon. Stealth shipyards blinked into view fleets the Concord never knew existed. Now exposed. The Luna yards are at full output, said Commander Elias Vance. Mars installations are ready. The Jupiter grid is armed. And the jump drive? Asked Arya. Dr. Marin Roth entered the control room, wiping oil from her gloves. Stable. Ready for field deployment. We can jump beyond Concord space within the hour. For 2 decades, Earth had labored in shadows. They mimicked, studied, and eventually surpassed the Concord's monopoly on faster-than-light travel. The gates the Concorde used to monitor and control movement between systems would no longer cage humanity. They've sanctioned us, said President Simone Core through a secure channel. Trade embargoes. Isolation. The usual arrogance. They think we're bluffing, said Arya. They've mistaken our patience for cowardice. President Core nodded. Then it's time they see what we've built. Meanwhile, in the Concorde Security Assembly, chaos reigned. They refused to respond, snarled Zelvern. Perhaps they're confused, offered Chancellor Rylus of the Vero. We're disorganized. No, interrupted Counselor Threx of Sereth. They're planning. Ridiculous. Zelvern spat. They need our gates. They have no options. Then why have their embassies gone dark? Asked Threx. Why have all their personnel vanished from Concord space? No answers came. Only growing dread. Send observation fleets. Immediately. But it was already too late. Above Jupiter, the EDF Vanguard hovered in silent orbit, nearly a mile long. It was dwarfed by Concorde dreadnoughts but carried technology far beyond the Council's comprehension. Status? Asked Fleet Commander Kieran Salas. All stealth fields holding, replied Lieutenant May Elric. No Concorde sensors can detect us. Signal from Earth confirmed operation beacon is active. Across the system, 200 human warships powered up, not to fire but to be seen. On trading hubs like Dallon's Reach and Velcaron Spire. Merchants panicked. Human shipments ceased overnight. Entire economies staggered. Earth, once a minor partner in trade, supplied vital rare metals, biotech specialists, agricultural enzymes. This is sabotage, cried Guildmaster Varn of the Kalari Combine. It's strategy, replied Lady Nerixa of the Halix Guild. They've chosen independence. But why now? Asked another. Because now they can. Nerixa said. They don't need us anymore. 6 hours later, 3 Concorde fleets entered the solar system, one by one. Their massive ships fell silent, systems disabled by non-lethal pulses from Earth's advanced ships. This is Captain Julian Hart of the Earth Defense Force, said the voice on every command deck. You are not being attacked. Your ships will regain power in 30 minutes. This is not aggression. It is a demonstration. Admiral Xandros of the Zoltar Imperium trembled with rage. You will regret this insult. This isn't an insult. Hart replied. It's a reminder. Respect is not optional. When power returned, the Concorde fleets limped away, shaken and silent. In the weeks that followed, humanity moved boldly. Medical teams arrived on fringe planets once neglected by the Concorde. Farmers were taught techniques that quadrupled yields. Engineers replaced outdated systems with renewable energy sources. Earth charged nothing, only fair trade in return. Why are you helping us? Asked a four-armed farmer on Calvier. Because you deserve more than permission to survive, replied technician Jadawin. You deserve the means to thrive. 23 worlds joined Earth in a new alliance, the Free Systems Coalition. No taxes, no overlords, no chairs set lower at the table. The Concorde panicked. They're destabilizing the galaxy. Zelvern shouted. They're restoring balance. Lyrics of the Ethri countered. Shall we offer them more power? Asked another. A permanent seat? More votes? Lyrics laughed. They built their own table. They don't want a seat at ours. A year passed. Concorde influence waned. Trade dried up. Worlds drifted toward Earth's banner. Then, On a quiet morning, a single Earth vessel appeared in orbit above the Concorde homeworld. Inside, Dorian Reeve prepared to return. "You really think they'll listen?" asked his aide. "They have no choice," said Dorian. "The old world is crumbling. We offer them a new one." The chamber was packed when he entered, not with mockery this time, but with breathless silence. "1 year ago," Dorian said, "I stood here and walked away. Today, I return with an offer." He pressed a control. Images lit the air off healed worlds. Of children laughing under twin suns. Of planets that now stood on their own 2 feet. "We don't seek dominance. We offer partnership, mutual respect, equal voice. We invite you to dissolve the Concorde and join us." Gasps. Outrage. Hope. "You're asking us to surrender," Zelvern said. "I'm inviting you to evolve," Dorian replied, as debate roared around him. Messages arrived. Hundreds of Earth ships had appeared near Concorde capitals, not with weapons, but with presence. Lyric stood. "I vote yes. I choose the future." One by one, others rose. The Concorde did not fall that day. It transformed. And the galaxy, once ruled by the few, was now shaped by the many, together, equally, at a table built not by legacy, but by choice.